Namaste बच्चों, हमेशा खुश रहो। Myself, JBN Dr. Monica Trivedi. I am from Department of Science, Faculty of Education and Methodology, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. So, students, today I am going to discuss with you about coke as a liquid fuel, petrol. So today we are going to discuss about the what is the petroleum and what are the liquid fuels which we are using. Sorry, which we are using, and what are the steps to purify the petroleum, or how we get the petroleum from the natural sources. Okay, so in today's session, we are going to discuss about the distillation process of petroleum, cracking process of gasoline, and the liquid fuels we are getting from the natural sources. So, in this session, first we are going to discuss about the liquid fuels. What are the liquid fuels? As you know that the automobile industries and all the devices which have engine are depending upon the liquid fuel. Okay, like liquid fuel like petroleum. We are using the petroleum, and the automobile industries are running on the petroleum. Okay, so the liquid fuel is important for our lives. Okay, as we know that the liquid fuel which we are using petroleum, and the calorific value of the petroleum is near about 40,000 kilojoule per kilogram. Okay, and there are some supplements of liquid fuels such as coal tar or crude benzol, synthetic liquid fuel, which are made from the coal. Okay, so these are some liquid fuel which we are using for the combustion of the engine, and they are running by the combustion of the liquid fuel. Okay, so the petroleum is a major liquid fuel which we are using in our daily routine life. Okay, so the term petroleum means the rock oil. What is the petroleum? Petroleum means the rock oil. Okay, and it is also called as a mineral oil. Okay. Now, the petroleum is a mixture of a paraffin, olefin, olefinic, and aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay. So, in petroleum, there are some amount of paraffinic and the olefinic hydrocarbons, aromatic hydrocarbons are present, and there are some amount of oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur also present. The petroleum has very different smell. So this smell is because of presence of a sulfur compound or sulfur derivative in the petroleum. Okay, so in the petroleum there are two major types are present. First is a mixture of paraffinic, olefinic, or aromatic hydrocarbon, and in a small quantity there is a organic compounds containing oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur also present. Okay. Now, if we see the composition of petroleum, okay, the elements like carbon, hydrogen, sulfur, and nitrogen. The carbon present in petroleum is like 80 to 87% is carbon present in the petroleum, and 11.1 to 15% hydrogen present in a petroleum, sulfur present from 0.1 to 3.5%, and oxygen present in a petroleum is 0.1 to 0.9%, whereas the nitrogen present in 0.4 to 0.9%. So by percentage wise, the carbon percentage is high in a petroleum. Okay. Now, as we know that the ash, which is a crude oil, okay, ash of the crude oil, is has 0.1% of metals like silicon, iron, aluminium, calcium, magnesium, nickel, and sodium. This crude oil is a mixture of straight chain paraffins or aromatic hydrocarbons like benzene, toluene, and naphthalene. Okay. These are the straight chain paraffins. Okay. Now, in petroleum, the sulfur is present as a form of the derivative. It's derivative like the hydrocarbons, okay, such as alkyl sulfide or aromatic sulfides. Okay? And nitrogen is also present in a form of a pyridine in quinoline derivatives or pyrrole derivatives. Okay, and the oxygen is present as a carboxylic acid in a form of a ketone or a phenol. Okay? And the petroleum has a very objectionable order, and this is because of the presence of the sulfur component in it. So the petroleum has, or a crude oil has, a straight paraffin chain, which is aromatic hydrocarbons of benzene or toluene or a naphthalene. It also has a sulfur derivative and oxygen derivative and a nitrogen derivative in it. Okay, so this is the composition of a petroleum, which is a liquid fuel which we are using as a liquid fuel. On the basis of their nature or their occurrence, the crude petroleum can be classified. Okay, like on the basis of their contents, what contents they are having, like they are having straight chain, they are having aromatic hydrocarbons, or they are having a simple chain. Okay, so on the behalf of their contents, the crude petroleum can be classified. The first name of the crude petroleum is a paraffin wax. Okay, so the paraffin wax is the type of the crude petroleum. It also can pronounce like paraffin base. Okay, it contains the straight chain of hydrocarbon and the small amount of naphthalene as well as the aromatic hydrocarbon in it. Okay, so in a paraffin wax there is only straight chain of hydrocarbons and a small amount of naphthalene and aromatic hydrocarbon also present. Okay, the second classification of the crude petroleum is asphalt. Asphalt have aromatic and the naphthalenic hydrocarbons contains in it. Okay, the final is classified into the finally crude petroleum classified into paraffin wax and the asphalt. This is the mixed crude petroleum. Okay, so it has a paraffin as well as naphthalenes and the aromatic hydrocarbon in it. So on the behalf of the content of a petroleum, the crude petroleum can be classified into two categories: paraffin wax, expat, and paraffin wax and the expat mixture. Okay. Now, from crude petroleum, we have to distill the petroleum which we are using in a engine to run that engine. So we have to purify that crude petroleum to change into a fuel. Okay. So as we know that the petroleum is present in earth crust very deeply. Okay, so we will find we can find the oil from earth crust and the crude oil, and we will process it to get a natural liquid. We can find it natural oil, and in presence of natural gases, and we will find the oil which we are using for the liquid fuel purpose. Okay, so by pumping the oil, we can get the crude oil from the earth crust. Okay, simply by pumping the surface and pumping the oil, we can find out the oil from the surface of the earth. Okay, now this crude oil will further refine, and the refining process is generally used for this petroleum is like we combine this crude oil with a mixture of solid, liquid, and gases. Okay, so it contains some kind of sand or water also. The crude oil which we find from the earth surface has the mixture of liquid, solid, gases, and hydrocarbon all this. So after removing the dirt or the water, we will use the natural gases and the crude oil will separate it, okay, by the fractional distillation process. Okay, so by refining the petroleum, we will use the emulsification process. In this process, what happened? The crude oil, we take the crude oil, which is coming out from the wall of the pumping of the oil, and by this oil, we will stabilize this by the emulsification or emulsion. Okay, emulsion of salt, water. Okay, by the mixture of this emulsion and a crude oil has a yellow to dark color, yellow and the dark brown color it has. Okay, so by the emulsification, in this process, the electrolytic process also used to remove the oil and other part of the oil which are present in a crude oil. Okay, so the crude oil is subjected to the electrical field, and it will convert into the droplet, and this droplet collides and collapse, and they form the larger droplet, and which are separated by the form of the oil. Okay, now this fractional distillation process is done. Now the what is the second step? The removal of harmful impurities. Okay, now the harmful impurities which are present in a oil like NaCl or MgCl2. Okay, these salts are present in that oil. So we have to first remove the harmful impurities by washing it with water. Okay, so for this, the optional objectional sulfur compound are removed by treating the oil with the copper oxide, and this copper sulfide will form and separated by the filtration process. Now, the third one is a fractional distillation process, which is used for the distillation of petroleum. Okay. Now, in this stage or this process, the temperature is 350 to 380 degrees centigrade, and we are using the still pipe for this fractional distillation process of a crude petroleum. Okay. And for this process, we will use the hot vapor, which is passed from the crude oil, and these fractional column are filled with the bubbles. Okay, so this bubble tower consists horizontal trays, and which is provide the chimneys, and these chimneys are used to rise the vapor. Okay, so and these chimneys are covered from the loose caps. Okay, and these caps are known as the bubble caps also, and these bubble caps helps to provide an intimate contact between the escaping vapor which is escaping and the liquid which is coming down. Okay, so this is the separation process where the chimneys are using for escaping the vapor and the liquid which is a pure oil or pure petroleum which we are getting from the fractional process. Okay, so in this fractional tower, as the temperature in a fractional tower decreases, the oil moves upward. Okay, so as the vapor pressure of the crude oil go up or it rises, they become cooler, and the fractional condensation takes place in a different height of the column. So there are the different columns are present. So when the vapor pressure goes up, so as well as the crude oil cooler, and the fractional condenser takes place at the different height of the column. Now, in a fractional tower, at the bottom, we can use the vacuum distillation process, and in this vacuum distillation process, we can reduce the oil particles, and we will get by the top flushing method. We can collect the fuel oil or gas oil or a kerosene oil by the top flushing method. In the top flushing method, it is better to control the composition of oil what we are required. Okay, like we required fuel oil, we required gas oil, or we required kerosene. So it is easy to control the product which we are composing. Okay, so it is a good process, but the instrument which we are using in a top fleshing method is very expensive. So this method is more expensive as compared to cracking. So cracking is a most cost-effective method, and simply what we are doing in this cracking process, we are using the gasoline in a fraction of a crude petroleum. Okay, and which is yielding to 20% of crude oil. Okay, now what happened in this cracking process? In a cracking process, we convert the lighter fraction by the application of a heat. Okay, without catalyst, with or without catalyst, or in a presence of a catalyst, or without presence of a catalyst. Now, in a cracking process, what happens? There is a carbon-carbon and a carbon-hydrogen bond chain breaking, and the higher molecule weight of the carbon-carbon chain is converted into the lower carbon-carbon molecule of hydrocarbons. Okay, so for example, if we use decane in a cracking process, we will get the decane has a formula C10H22, and its boiling point is 174 degrees centigrade, and it will convert into C5H12, which is N-pentane and pentane C5H10. Okay, so by cracking process, we will get the lower boiling point. Now, the decane has a 174 degree centigrade boiling point, and the pentane has a 36 degree centigrade boiling point. So, by cracking process, we can easily convert the higher hydrocarbons to the lower hydrocarbons. Okay, and by the cleavage of carbon-carbon bond, the product we are obtained, we can get the lower boiling point from the initial reactant. Now, from the cracking process, we can form the branched chain hydrocarbon, which is change converted into the straight change alkene. Okay, and also the unsaturated hydrocarbons are obtained from the saturated hydrocarbons, because it is a simply carbon-carbon cleavage, so we can get the unsaturated hydrocarbons from the saturated hydrocarbons. Okay, in this cracking process, cyclization also takes place, because the cracking used to produce the olefin from the naphthalene oils and from the kerosene. Okay, and this cracking process can be carried out by the two processes. First is the thermal cracking, and second is from the vapor phase thermal cracking. Okay, so first is a thermal cracking process, and in this process, simply we take the crude oil at the high temperature and pressure, and this process is known as a thermal cracking process. Okay, what happened in this process? The heavy oil are subjected to high temperature and pressure, and when a bigger hydrocarbons break down to give a smaller molecule, okay, like paraffin and olefin. Okay, so the bigger hydrocarbon containing unsaturated bonds, saturated bonds converted into the saturated bond. So the bigger or higher hydrocarbons breaks into a small molecule and give the unsaturated hydrocarbon. So there is a formula, there is an order of increasing order of fraction increasing in a thermal cracking. Like aromatics has a higher molecular form, higher molecules as compared to naphthalene and as compared to paraffins. In the thermal cracking, we use the liquid phase thermal cracking, and where we use the suitable temperature, which is near about 476 to 350 degrees centigrade, and cracking process done by the separated fractional column present in a fractional column steels of apparatus. Okay, and the second is a vapor phase thermal cracking, in which the oil is vaporized at a low temperature and can be cracked. Okay, so the petroleum fractions of a low boiling range, like a kerosene oil, as a heated at temperature 670 to 720 degrees centigrade under the low pressure. Okay, and we will get the final product of this process. And this vapor phase thermal cracking process is proceed by the free radical mechanism, like first step is a chain initiation method and propagation method, and then last from the termination process. Okay. Finally, if the catalyst present in a cracking process, it will give the more efficient product. Okay, and this is the important method to produce high yield of the gasoline. Okay, so the presence of catalyst is more essential because the process is more eco-friendly or more cost effective. Okay, by using the cracking process with the catalyst, we can use the thermal reaction by the high temperature and high pressure, which is not required in presence of the catalyst. Okay, if we use the catalyst, if we use the catalyst on only the accelerate the cracking reaction, but introduce new reaction which is modified by the natural product. So by using the cracking process by the with the catalyst, we can produce the new high yield, and we will produce the natural products also. Okay, and by using the catalyst in a cracking process, we will get the higher yield of the gasoline, and also there is a no external fuel is required for the cracking process. As well as this process is a controlled process, and we can derive our product what we want to obtain. Okay, so and this product contain very little amount of undesirable sulfur, because the major product of the sulfur escape out by the H2S gas during this cracking process, and the yield of less scope, less gas, and the more liquid product. Okay. Also, the evolution of the byproducts gas can be further minimized, thereby increasing the yield of the desired product. In presence of catalyst, there is a selective action. Hence, the cracking only gives the high fractional products takes place. Okay? So, by using this cracking process, the product which we will get by the fractional method of the distillation of petroleum, we will get the high yield of the gasoline. So this is all about the liquid fuel, petroleum, and distillation of the petroleum, or fractional petroleum, and cracking of petroleum. So I hope you can understand this topic. And if you have any query, please let me know. I will resolve your all queries. Thank you very much.